A very good morning to all of you. Before I can continue, it is just a gentle reminder that this video, the content, the presentation is for limited circulation within this interesting robot business. Conference 2021. So if there is a need to disseminate it further, you are requested to please ask for approval. Thanks for your understanding. So let me start with the presentation. We are basically going to talk about socially intelligent bots, which are also useful. What are the challenges? What are the interesting applications? And how we can see them in the way which is helping us, or in the way which is enabling these technologies to be more integrated with our society. So I
Now let me see you dance. Come on.
네, 잠시 후 30분부터 로버월드 국제로봇 비즈니스 컨퍼런스의 키노트 스피치 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 우리 청중분들은요, 자리 마련돼 있으니까 착석해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 자리에 명찰이 있어가지고 상관없으세요? 네, 상관없다고 하십니다. 네, 자리에 앉아주시면 감사하겠습니다. 네, 안녕하십니까.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let us start 2021 Robotworld International Robot Business Conference. I am Kim Min-sol, a moderator of today's keynote session. And we have 3 tracks for keynote speech from 10:30 to 12. Following last year, this year's keynote session will be preceded remotely as well to 100% due to COVID-19. And I'm kindly asking for your understanding that we prepared pre-recorded video due to COVID-19. And from now on, we will start the first keynote speech of the International Robot Business Conference. And the first speaker is CTO Amit Kumar Pandey from Hans Robotics, a developer of AI robot Sophia that has Saudi Arabia citizenship for the first time in the world. And CTO Amir Pandey is a co-founder of Bing AI, which is the world's first AI company, and he served as CTO of French SoftBank Robotics, as well as a researcher at CNRS of France. His presentation topic today is the impact of AI robotics on our lives. This is a topic that everyone participating in the robotic world is interested in, and I'm looking forward to your great interest. Then from now on, let's take a look at his keynote speech.
To all of you. Before I can continue, it is just a gentle reminder that this video, the content, the presentation is for limited circulation within this interesting robot business conference 2021. So if there is a need to disseminate it further, you are requested to please ask for approval. Thanks for your understanding. So let me start with the presentation. We are basically going to talk about socially intelligent bots, which are also useful. What are the challenges? What are the interesting applications? Technologies to be more integrated with our society. So I am Amit Kumar Pandey, and this is basically a list of different affiliations or projects I have been involved in, or the organizations or companies. But the key here is that I have been exposed to research organizations, industries, and also at the intersection of road mapping in the domain. So basically today I will try to give a balanced view from all these past experience, and I hope I will have enough time to cover whatever I wanted to convey. So let us go to the point directly. So there are different robots, and they are built for different roles. They have different capabilities. Their look, their shape, size, design, all can vary depending on why and for what purpose and how they are developed. And personally, I have some good time, or at least some experience with all these different kinds of boards, physical as well as virtual. So we should keep in mind that there is always an ecosystem behind a complicated solution or system to work, and basically it's a combination of different technologies which are creating some impactful applications, even if we will talk about robots. So there are different kinds of robots depending on, again, the needs and the applications and the design, which are capable of acting and interacting in the real world. And then there is IoT, which is Internet of Things, which are integrated and which are capable of sensing the environment, and that gives us at least some data or even some high level information about the situation. And then we have the AI, artificial intelligence, which is capable of decision making and planning and reasoning and even providing the autonomy or creating the behaviors. So, what we see here is that once we combine all these, we are actually getting a nice combination of body to act, senses to gather information, and mind to analyze the information and then signal the body to behave in the most appropriate manner. So it is again a part of the bigger technological ecosystem, but it is interesting to see that how different technologies are combining and creating interesting applications. And it is also changing. There is a shift in the way robots have been deployed or perceived or have been used. In the past, robots were mostly isolated from human. They were either in a remote natural environment or they were in environment which were created mostly for robots. So that we can say robot-centered environment. So the key here was that there was no human which was sharing the space with robots, or they were working very closely. And then this idea in the domain of social robots, human-robot interaction emerged, and it created a new kind of R&D challenges, because now always there are some people around robot. So how they should be behaving, how they should be acting or planning or even interacting with others were very interesting to explore. And at the same time, it created new opportunities to address many of the societal needs and challenges. And these were the robots which were designed to work in human-centered environment, the environment which was created for human by us, objects, people, even the infrastructure. All these are for us, and these robots should be able to adopt and adjust and act in this environment. So with this new kind of idea that robot and human can really coexist with each other in a shared environment, also changed the way those robots were working in different tasks and scenarios. Like now they are, even if they are underwater, they are trying to be collaborative with human. If they are in an assembly line, there is human, and there is human robot collaboration, which we can think about and which we can even experience these days. So it was very interesting shift that robots being working in isolated environment, now being the part of our day-to-day life and activities. And with this interesting idea that robots are now becoming part of our even social life, they have to be social because they are now living in companionship with others, not in isolation. And they are situated in a social environment, so they have to exhibit some kind of awareness about the people and about the social situation. They should be able to also understand or region from others' perspective. For example, the notion of perspective taking, that what a person is able to see or reach. This kind of simple things are very much used in our day-to-day communication with other people. that what the person who is in front of me might be able to see or not see. So this type of very interesting but fundamental reasoning capabilities are needed in these robots. And then they should be able to interact, obviously, to engage with people, collaborate with people, and why not? They should be also considering some of our social culture norms and expectations, and try to even see who can help them or how they can help people better. And in this way, these robots will be becoming more and more intelligent and interactive and better fulfilling our requirements and expectations. So, how we can really achieve some innovation? Traditionally, in robotics, there have been work in embodiment like loop material, joint control, then abilities to sense or move, or functionalities, which was basically interaction, manipulation, navigation. So that was basically the core of traditional robotics in one sense, which we can think about. And then artificial intelligence came, and robotics and AI started to work together. And that was very interesting because then robots started to get new capabilities, new competencies, which we can say, like how they should be able to communicate with people, how they should be able to learn through interaction with people, how they should be able to perceive the environment, the people better. But the main question is still, and was still the same, the purpose. What is the use of those robots? Why we are going to build these kind of robots? What is the right kind of robots? And that's where the role of society and the needs are coming. And when we will bring all together, then we will be able to achieve better the useful and the intelligent bots, which can really serve some purpose and be part of our day-to-day life in a long-term manner, not just for the novelty that okay, there is something new, let me try or let me interact, but how they can be more useful in long term. So to understand those needs, there are various ways. Let us watch this movie. Clip.
Eat some lollipop.
Will come and teach you. Do you want that to my friend? I don't know, only I am teaching. You want one more teacher?
Huh?
You want one more teacher?
Yeah, but you give me lot of difficult questions. Maybe he might think that I'm a baby and just give me easy questions.
So there are many interesting things here, but one of the key messages is that once we let these kind of robots or interactive robots to interact with people, with real people, we see interesting feedback, and also we better understand that okay, what can be the potential need or requirement of such robots. Like in this example, the child is able to see a small problem in his life, and he is just trying to hope that this robot will better understand its situation and the child's situation and behave accordingly. So there is always some sort of expectation which is getting created when we let people and robot to interact with each other, and that's very interesting. And that sometime perhaps we might not have thought about a particular application, but through user interaction we can get very interesting feedback. So in reality, people really want these kind of bots to be rich in information and more intelligent, at the same time reliable enough, and some capabilities to be adaptive. so that they can adapt to different situation and to different kind of people. And this is very high level. What I can say is the symbolic representation of the expectations, but we as a community have to always find a grounding of all these requirement and expectation and find the right solution according to that. So how to fulfill such expectations? There are a set of basic abilities like safety is very important. So these boats should be always safe. No, should not have any chance to physically harm even unintentionally. And then they should be comfortable so that people are not getting annoyed just because of their behavior or the presence. And it will be even interesting if they are having some naturalness in their behavior, and why not even having some high level social competency in their behavior, so that they can make decision better, they can better understand us, and they can even decide what to do or what not to do in a particular situation. So there are as you can see, there are different levels or different layers of achieving behaviors to make them more useful and more comfortable for us. So once we go back that what are the building blocks that how these robots can be really behaving for different situation according to the presence of the human, we have to create lots of blocks. Some of those I will not go in detail, but again, as I was mentioning, abilities to understand and regions from others' perspective, what they can see, what they can do, and then how they can or agent can manipulate some objects, so that a better planning of the task depending on the requirement can be achieved and depending on the situation can be achieved. So if the things are done well, so same framework can be utilized for different kind of robots, for different situation, for different kind of task, and they will be able to autonomously decide when, where, and how to perform a particular task to facilitate something for the user who is around the robot. Okay, so that can even go beyond to include different people, multiple agents at the same time. Like in this example, the robot is able to plan that this box should be going in the trash bin, but it can be done in different ways. And one of the ways is that it can give to the person in middle, and that person can give it to another person, and that another person can put the box in the bin. So this is basically the autonomy in the decision making, which needs lots of building blocks to be working together to be really a collaborative robot in whatever setup we can think about, including industry 4.0. And then we also try to compare these capabilities with human, and then we got interesting feedback. I will not go in detail again, but you can refer to this paper if you are interested. So then naturalness in the interaction is also very important, because we are capable of same things differently, and also we are able to understand different situations and behave accordingly. So again, I will not go in detail. Perhaps I can just play this video a little, okay, if it will work. Is there anything I should avoid in Qatar? Okay, and then we can ask. I mean, at what time shops are closed in on Friday?
10 a.m., 12 p.m.
So these basically the examples where we can have any kind of question or random question with boards, and they should be able to understand the context, and then they should be able to respond. So there is always diversity in the natural interaction which should be addressed or handled by this kind of boats, depending on again the social situation.
Hello.
Let me move quickly. So we have to also see that how these boards, which are having some capabilities of decision making, how they are even proactive by understanding the situation, how they can help or support people, and then how it is connected with the creativity of the robot as well as the person who is interacting with the boat. So again, I will not go in detail, but these are some pointers in which you can take a deeper look if you are interested. Similarly, engagement and how the robot should be modulating its gauge behavior so that if there are multiple people in the scenario, they are feeling engaged and the robot behavior is seen appropriate in a group setting. Okay, and then as I mentioned earlier as well, it is very difficult to pre-program a robot for every situation, different kind of task in different context. So they should have some capabilities of learning and reflecting those learning in their behavior. And so
Say
let
hello.
me just quickly show this behavior. Okay.
Look left. Move forward.
So there are some basic behaviors which are already there in the robot.
To greet is to raise the right arm and say hello.
Yes, to greet is to raise the right arm and to say hello.
Greet me.
Hello.
So here a person is able to program the robot basically without writing any code. So it is using the existing knowledge of the robot and then trying to create new kind of behavior which can be useful in different scenarios. Because for example, even for greeting in different places, there might be different ways of greeting people. And if robot is serving in a mall or in public place, it should be able to learn and then behave accordingly in different scenarios. Similarly, let us watch this clip. Thank you.
Did not get you.
If someone says thank you, you should reply, you are welcome.
Understood. Need to say you are welcome for thank you.
Namaste.
Did not get you.
If I say namaste, you should say namaste.
Understood. Need to say namaste for namaste.
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 Thank you.
You are welcome.
So here again, it is like through interaction, we can teach interesting things to the bot, and then it should be able to reflect those new learning in the next time if it is having the same situation or the same scenario. So again, I will skip some part of the videos. So until now, we simply discuss about some of the abilities. Now let us see some of the applications. Once we have those abilities in the boards, what we can think about in terms of how they can be used. So the key here is that we have to really, as I mentioned, bring this society and the needs in whole design process and understanding the real scenarios or the real use cases. So for this aspect, there are many use cases which we can think about. So I will simply highlight a few of those like care setting, healthcare or elderly care, education, and then service sector. And in terms of business, we can think about many business uh, channels like B2B or directly going to consumer or going to consumer through business partner. And one which is very close to me is that how we can go to society with interesting solutions and then help solving some of the challenges. So healthcare and elderly care is one of those which can really support healthy and active living of the people. And since people will be more independent, feeling more independent, not depending on some other person, they might feel even some less compromised of the dignity. And obviously less loneliness will be also achieved. We can have personalized and preventive health care. These boards can even help in boosting physical and cognitive health, and they can even break distance barrier, like telemonitoring or telemedicine can be made more feasible. And there are also settings where different cultural background can be one of the factors where having a right kind of intelligence in those boards can breathe better with people from different cultural background. And why not we should target that no one should really die just because they are not getting noticed on time. So with this kind of technologies and boards, we can really try to achieve this bigger vision. Again, I will not go in detail of some of these works, but they can be help, and there are research which are pushing that they can help in boosting the cognitive health of the people, even by simply recalling about past memory or showing some interesting facts and figure, or even talking on daily basis. They can even provide physical support because they are physical entities, and for different kind of people, even in walking or simply being companion. And they are also getting used for autism therapy, because these social robots are seen encouraging social skills, verbal and non-verbal skills in children with autism, and even they are getting used to train a therapist. And in education as well, they can have lots of application, like being teaching assistants to being a teaching platform. And there is interesting aspect of learning by teaching, where we can achieve the personalized education, where a child is trying to teach something to a robot, and then during this process they are learning new things. So again, if you are interested, feel free to go through the reference. But really in education, the robots are playing different roles, and at the moment, since they are able to repeat things thousands of times, not getting angry and irritated, it is also in some case added value or the plus point. And in COVID and post-COVID, they can really ensure that the social distancing, which we all are talking, is not going to lead to social isolation of all these people. And there are studies, or at least some deployment, where prediction, monitoring, service delivery, teleworking, and are getting facilitated through the robots, which are also ensuring safety. And there is this interesting project where a robot is
Asha is
being
smiling.
teleoperated by the
Asha
operator
is
on the
happy.
right of the screen, and then robot is able to go to a person and take the temperature, and then even to provide some physical support or bringing a glass of water. All these can be achieved. And here the robot is working as the body,
Asha is
which is
surprised.
transporting the emotion as well as the action of the operator. And this type of solutions can be used to telemedicine scenario, or telehealthcare, teleeducation, and even why not human and robot teammate through a tele-operated manner. And these kind of robots are also now facilitating a differently abled person to get a job, because the person is using these kind of robots as their body, and then able to perform some of the physical tasks which they might not have been able to do. So there are really new opportunities which are emerging as these robots are becoming part of our day-to-day life. And these things I will not go in detail, but I simply wanted to highlight that robots with right kind of intelligence can help and are already helping in agriculture for precision farming or even health monitoring of the soil, in tourism, starting from customer assistance to facilitating remote interactive tours, and even in art and culture to even exhibit a particular form of art or create awareness about a particular culture or language or dance form, whatever we can think about. And there are many other applications like smart cities, flood, disaster management, security and crime prevention, then in a smart city and a smart villages, then in a space, defense, and you will name, and we can think about some interesting applications when robots and AI and all technologies are coming together. But now we should think that we should not forget the social, legal, and ethical aspect as well. And the key thing here is that these robots should be able to express, understand, even create expectation. Even by their presence, they are creating expectations. Be reactive, active, or even proactive, as I mentioned, by understanding the situation, then behaving according to the situation. They should be able to fulfill the expectation, and obviously, as I mentioned, they should be able to learn as well. So the key here is that the first impression of these boards in terms of appearance and behaviors, that is the shaping factor for the expectation, and that defines that what will be the long-term relation, or in other sense the usability of those robots in human environment. And that's why it is very important that the design, the computational models, the performances are considering all these factors, that how they should be achieving all these behaviors, and at the same time they should be able to perform in the real environment with enough like a reduced delay and with right kind of autonomy. And the bigger question is that what not to do in all these things, how they will be able to learn or understand that what is not good to learn or what is not good to behave, and again for the real world deployment. So these are the interesting facts in which we have to push as a community. And then this question of uncanny valley, which you might have heard about, that when robots are becoming too human-like, there is a point where their acceptance or their positive response by the people or the society might be dropping suddenly, and then beyond one point they will be again appreciated or accepted positively by the society. So how relevant and how important this notion will be for long-term deployment of the robots, or when robots are really day-to-day scenario, then how much this kind of design thinking will be relevant, that also we have to consider, and on which side of this valley we should design or create robots. And there are also different guidelines which are coming, like respecting the cultural diversity and pluralism, which is something which we have to consider also as a community in designing robots for different scenarios, including transcultural nursing scenario. And also it is very important to involve different stakeholders so that the right kind of challenge can be identified and the right kind of solution can be provided. And there are really different aspects which we should be considering to make them useful. Or as I mentioned, defining the purpose, then the approach of humans centered approach is important. Then the technology transfer from different directions, not necessarily only from academics to industry, but why not the knowledge sharing from industry to academics, and creating a co-knowledge space to push things with bigger strength. Then all the stakeholder collaborations are very important, including individuals and policymakers. And interdisciplinary collaboration is also equally important. We should bring people from different background, cognitive science, computer science, social science, psychology, animation, art, culture, creativity, business, whatever we can think about, because these technologies are going to work in a real environment with the people. So we need to have right kind of people to create the right kind of behavior. Okay, but when we are talking about multidisciplinary collaboration, it is very important that we uh, think about the key things, which is right strategy, right starting point, right communication, right common ground, right interfaces. And just take this example. Uh, we want to make a hot and cold water tap, which is able to control the water flow, hot and cold water flow, and then provide the balance water which is needed. And we wanted to achieve something which is there in the picture on the right. But perhaps we can come up with a solution which is on the left. And that is very interesting because it is able to fulfill some of the expectation or specification that we are able to control different flows of water, hot and cold differently, combine them and get one mixed water. But perhaps it is not a sustainable solution and not perhaps feasible as well. So that's why it is very important that how we define all the collaboration and then what is the target level of technology readiness which we can achieve through right kind of collaboration. And in terms of market, it is increasing. So humanoid robot market, interactive robots market, service robot market, all these are having good annual growth rate. And they are finding different applications in different sectors, and sometimes they are coming together, combining and creating even new kind of markets. And also new job titles are emerging in managerial as well as technical, innovation, R&D side, and interestingly on non-technical and special expertise side as well. And there are obviously good potential for startup companies to be part of this ecosystem and even strengthen the ecosystem, like app developers for different robots or service providers, or even working on sensor specific sensors. So there are really lots of components at hardware, software, and at service level which are needed, and lots of new companies can be emerging in this domain. Okay, so we really need to bring a community and build a community and bring people together, and that's what we have been doing in the past, and we are keep doing through different conferences, seminars, um, business events. When I say we as a community, and also through special issues in journals and publications. And we have to keep exploring various collaboration possibilities to really make an impactful contribution to the society. But the question is always that what is the right kind of robot and what are the right kind of behaviors? And to find this, we have to always see the problems or the issues which we are facing as a society. One of those is this report, which is very sad that long working hours are really contributing to the death of the people. That is not good. So why not we can think that these kind of robots with right kind of intelligence are reducing our workload and helping to address many societal needs, reaching to personalized solution, and then improving the efficiency of the whole ecosystem, optimizing the cost as well, and reducing the risk and dangers to the human, and empowering us to even do difficult things, and mitigating some of human errors also in critical situations. And they are also capable of handling large amount of data, so they can also make sense quickly from big information and help and support us. So the future intelligent bots will be basically socially intelligent, which will be combining the
Hello,
powers
how
of
are you?
human society, machines, AI, art, creativity, everything coming together. And they will coexist with us for us and to empower us for better life experience. And one of those experience can be getting more time and space for creativity. And perhaps the way we are self exploiting ourselves will be a thing of past. So with this, I will stop. Thanks for all your kind attention. And if you have any question, hopefully I will be able to be live to answer those. Thanks again.
You just listened to the presentation by CTO Amit Kumar Pandey, and he explained about very specific case studies. In particular, it was very impressive that the robots can be used for education, and he also mentioned that robots can say educational things 1,000 times. And moving on to the next presentation, we'll listen to the presentation by Director Lin Tao from Soft Robotics SRT Sales Manager, and he will talk about the status of China's industrial robot industry and SRT development status. And Director Lin Tao has more than 20 years of experience in the automation, CRM system framework, and robot sales market. So you may be very curious about Chinese robot industry. Let's take a look at the video.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lin Tao of SRT. And before I joined the SRT, I've been involved in the industry for a few years. And SRT was a company that was established in 2016, and it's a technology company that has grown based on the soft robotic technology. The HQ is in Beijing, and it's one of the two companies in the world that has soft robotics technology. SRT has the R&D capabilities for the development of soft robotics, and it is located in the high-end, high-tech clusters, and it's cooperating with universities such as Tsinghua and the Chinese Academy of Science and other prominent universities in China. And it has this industry academic research partnership with many other distinguished organizations. And the soft magic hands series that has been launched by SRT is able to pick things, grasp things very quickly, and it can do the operation with without the prior manipulation. And also in the production lines, regardless of the sizes of the products to be worked on or the parts to be worked on, it is possible to use this robotics to select to grasp things, and it can be used in many different industries, including automotive parts and 3Cs. And we have exported over to 23 countries since the launch of the product 3 years ago. We have about 300 different customers. We have global companies as our customers, and we have established digital platforms as well as intelligent platforms, and we have provided personalized, smart working environment. And now we're going to look at the robotic industry development status of China, as well as how SRT is going to grow in the future. China's robotic industry has been growing very continuously, and it has been growing in terms of smart manufacturing as well as robotics. And if you look at the global robotics market, this is according to IFR. As of 1st of July, according to the data from this organization, for 8 consecutive years, China has been the largest market, and is the market that has been growing the quickest. It has about 25% of the market share in the Q3 of 2019. It has about 44% of the market share, and China's market share in the world, it has been growing very quickly and continuously due to a pandemic. The global industrial robotic market has become stagnant, has actually posted negative growth, and last year it was about minus 19%. However, it has continued growth of robotics market in China despite the global stagnation of the market. And with the global automotive trend and the lack of labor and increased cost and decreased population, the robotics is going to play even more important role. And this is the sales volume, which is about $57.3 billion as of that's about 5.7% growth year on year, and that so China has about 1/3 of the international market, and this is the global first generation market share, and we call this a cooperative robot, and this is where the robots cooperate with others to do the requested work. And according to IFR, the so-called cooperative robot is going to be the next gen robots, and this is the application for the robotics. This says automotive 3C and electronics, and in 2018 with the robot in the robotic markets, automotive accounted for 32%, electronics 21.5%, and when combined they account for 53.5% of the total market. So the integration is quite high, and industrial robotics takes up an important part in the automotive market. And as you know, automotive market itself, with the industry itself, is growing very quickly, and the robotics can be used in many different areas or the stages of production, and it can realize more facilitated and efficient production procedures. And the robotics can work in a very, very difficult environment, and it can do the repetitive work without errors. And in the automotive era, according to IFR, the global industrial robot has accounted for 30% in terms of application in the automotive market. And in the automotive market, industrial robot according to the OICAS, accounts for about 79%. And so in Japan, Korea, the US, Germany, and China account for the largest shares of the international market, with China taking about 31%. And in the automotive OEM inventory, that has grown by about 3% year on year, and the industry its size itself has grown by 5%. And we expect that there is going to be increased production of automotives in large cities in China. And so after the pandemic, there is going to be even more demand for the production of automotives. And according to the ministry, in 2020, there were about 25 million cars sold in China, and that number is going to expected to increase going forward. And the vehicles with using renewable energy, thanks to new technology, new materials, and new systems, will be taking up the mainstream of the automotive industry going forward. But 3C industry, 3C refers to computers, communications, and the consumer electronics, and they include computers, handsets, and digital audio players, smart wearable smart home living products. And the 3C is where the robotics are used and applied widely. And in 2018, for 3C, the robotics developed accounted for about 30%, and China accounted for about 43% of the market share. In traditional 3C products, that is computers and smartphones, there has been a stable growth, and in new 3C products such as the wearables and smart living homes, we expect there to be a significant growth going forward for the wearables, that is for the smartwatches and the wireless headphones and the VR AR helmets. And then we're referring to that for the smart living, we're referring to technology that is used at home to control the things related to living, to the things that are at home, and they include things such as smart routers. And in the traditional 3C product, according according to Canalysys, global computers, that is personal computers, the shipment has decreased in 2020. However, it has recovered in 2021, and it's going to increase by 2% in 2022, reaching about 3.75 million units. And the annual shipment of the personal computers is going to grow by about 4% in 2021 Y on Y. And for the 5G handsets, there is going to be increase in the shipment of smartphones. And according to the robotic, it's more than just it's not just limited to one industry. It's for many different industries, just as I have just has been explained. And the market, the industrial robotic market is going to continue to grow. When we talk about the technology, we have to see what the robotics and the robot can do, and they can be. And robot has a capability, has to be able to do work, has to be able to move, and has to be able to converse if necessary. And for the servant, they should be able to conduct dialogues, should be able to learn, and for these things, we do need to develop an advanced technologies even further. And there also has to be detection technology as well as visual, as well laser technology development. And robots has to be able to act, has to be able to put into action, and that means that it has to be able to learn and able to converse, and it has to be able to talk in physical languages, that is, body languages. And with the IoT and in the networking era that we're living in, and the robots should be able to protect itself, but it should also be able to protect for the network that it is within. And so this sort of safety or the security related technology is very important. And in 2019, in countries such as China, Japan, US, and Korea, they accounted for about 73% of the total industrial robots market. And the annual newly assembled unit record to about 14.4 million. And if you look at the integrity of the robot, it's about 113 units per 10,000 people. And the most integrated market is Korea and Singapore, and they have about 918 and about 500 per 10,000 population. And the largest market with the highest demand is China. However, China is behind other advanced economies, which means that China has more room to grow. And robotics are developed in 3 stages. The first one is the automation stage, and here the robots and advanced devices are not distinguishable. And according to a writer in Czech, the a robot should be more than just an advanced equipment or a facility. It should be able to control. It should be able to do more. And then there's the second stage of development, which is the smart stage. And here, the robot should be able to cooperate with people, should be able to detect what's in the environment. And of course, for the second stage, we need the technology development. Currently, we are in the stage 2, and then stage 3 is where we need to move towards, which is where there will be more autonomy. So there should be recognition, learning, and also interaction. And for the small robots, they have already entered into this stage 3, and there will be many different products that will be introduced for the stage 3 robotics development. And China needs to make up in terms of technology, and according to the software robotic technology company, they will continue to do technology innovation and global deployment, and to improve production as well as improve management, and so that they will be able to lead the industry, and they will also be recruiting talent from distinguished universities and other organizations, and try to become global first as much as possible. In the industrial robotic area, China has been growing very quickly in the past past years, and their production volume has also increased. According to in 2020, the units produced was about 23 million sets, and the industrial robot production is about 13.64 sets, and so that's about 73.2% growth year on year. And the total sales amount reached about 6.6 billion dollars. And now the automation only accounts for 3 to 4%. It only is able to satisfy that requirement. But with the our new type of robot, with what has the soft hand, we will be able to satisfy the more of these requirements. And as for the actuator, the end actuators, that SRT is specializing in, it can be used more widely in the production sites. And we will also cooperate closely with our partner companies. And SRT is going to be providing new internet industrial solutions, and we will also build industrial databases so that we will be able to provide more value to our partners as well as customers. And we would also like to get into the Korean market, and we would like to have cooperation exchange with the Korean companies, and we want to be able to diversify the market that we do our business in. And I hope that you will have opportunity to visit our company and have more conversations with us. Thank you very much. From this year in China, there has been innovations in many technologies, which has helped China to become leaders in many areas. And Chinese economy is trying to make an advancement. And in new recent exhibition, a robot was displayed where it can pick up small things as well as soft things. And this is robotic technology based on soft clamping. And this type of product has been sold over to 23 countries. We have been growing for about 3 times, and we have been able to increase our sales by about 8 times. And so how was this particular company able to do this? They were able to position itself unique. It was able to obtain a unique position in the market using this soft clamping technology. And in 2018, it was able to succeed in the research and development of this technology, and it was able to solve the problem of picking up the very, very soft raw materials or component parts in the manufacturing production processes. We believe able to post good growth, and we will be able to further develop our products and advanced technologies, and we can also I think with more sophisticated marketing, we'll be able to post a growth that is about 3 or 4 times faster. And in case of this company, for the past 5 years, it has invested over $90 million in R&D, and of 200 employees, only 5 are in sales. Most of them are in R&D. It has over 100 patents, and international patent is about 4, and it was able to get recognition from the government ministry. And we will continue to make investments in the R&D, and we will create additional value through continued research and development activities. New product, new inventions have been displayed. They are quite curious. We have these 2 clamping devices here, and this is what we the clamping device that's used widely currently in the market. As you see, it cannot grasp the eggs without breaking it. But if we do use a soft clamping, it is able to grasp the egg without breaking. Let me show you. It's even able to grasp the yolk. It successfully did this. And egg yolk, as you know, is irregular in its form, but it was the machine was still able to pick it up or to grasp it and pick it up. Soft clamping is made of soft materials, and the material is quite flexible as well as soft. And it's soft, but it's able to pick up a lot of things. How does it do it? We've done the necessary control test, a life cycle test, and many other tests. And this is technology is different because mobilizing fingers are used, and it actually moves as if a human hand would move, and they would be able to flex and reflex and be able to grasp and release the object that it is trying to grasp and hold on to. And it can also hold large things, as you see here, and it can also grasp and pick up a very complicated component as the one you see here. In the manufacturing processing line, it is able to help with very high precision assembly, and it can be operated 3 million to 6 million times per time unit. And so it uses soft, intelligent materials, and it can be integrated into a bigger system, and it can be used to lift heavy things. And so you see, the soft clamping device is picking up the egg yolk. There is a membrane on the egg yolk which would break if you pick it up with hand, and the yolk would break. But if you use a soft clamping and using its air pressure, and air pressure works serves as fingers, it is able to pick up the egg yolk without breaking through the membrane that is covering the egg yolk.
네, 지금까지
That has been Mr. Lin Tao of SRT. He has told us about the growth of the industrial robotic market of China. Now we're going to introduce you to the third speaker.
중국 물
Director Chusuda from Zhejiang Huawei will give us presentation on the status of logistics robot and the prospects. Distinguished guests from home and abroad, I am Chusuda, an overseas sales director of Zhejiang Huawei Technology. And Huawei Technology Company was established in February 2016 and is a specialized company that conducts R&D, production, and sales of machine vision and mobile robots. And I joined the company in its early stage and served as an overseas technical support engineer, overseas sales manager, and director. And I am very happy to be invited to 2021 Robotworld as a speaker. And my presentation is divided into two parts. The first part is about current status and outlook of the robot industry, and the second part is about the introduction of the company and product and successful performance. And many high techs are interconnected with robots, and this can be seen in the machine learning, IoT, human to machine systems, and autonomous mobile systems. And intelligent robots are major components of manufacturing data, and global manufacturing is currently facing great challenges. However, due to rapid changes in consumption demand, resource shortages, and technician shortages, aging population, and demand for local products, the automation of flexible robot is providing solutions to these challenges. And therefore, this year we have seen a significant increase in the number of robots to deal with COVID-19, and more robots are being applied to new areas. Currently, the robot industry has emerged as national strategic industry. Developed countries such as US, Europe, Korea, and Japan are making all-out efforts to develop the robot industry in the long run and are proposing strategic plans for robot industry of the country. And China is currently in the crucial stage of modernizing the nation and must lead the creative science and technology and support economic development. And in June 2014, General Secretary Xi Jinping emphasized at Chinese Academy of Engineering that robot is a sparkling silk in the manufacturing tiara and an important sign of a country's creative science and technology in high-tech manufacturing, and highlighted that robot revolution is affecting the global manufacturing structure. And China is promoting robot industry as a national strategy industry, and robot is a new manufacturing sector after industrialization. And it is focusing on the quality manufacturing in smart factory, and the key is to build GPS. Through the IoT, data exchange can be achieved between objects, between machines, and between machine and people. And intelligent factory and production lines can be established by closely connecting facilities, production line products, factories, and supply chains and consumers. There will be a boom in upgrading global intelligent manufacturing capabilities and transforming manufacturing in various industries. At the same time, China's Intelligent Manufacturing 2025 will also head to the vision of an industrial powerhouse. The government will implement China Manufacturing 2025, strengthening basic green development with continuous creative and intelligent mood, and quickly attempt to change its priority from manufacturing capacity to performance. And the core of planning is to promote in-depth convergence of industrialization in informatization. And the key is to preoccupy the peak of new industrial revolution through intelligence and production. And according to the 2020 to 2024 China Robot Industry Investment Analysis, the structural deficiency of labor and the rapid labor cost increase will soon end China's cheap labor era, and the industry will require rapid transformation and upgrade. And as a result, domestic robot industry in China will have a chance for development. And Chinese robots are significantly less dense than advanced countries like Germany, Japan, and Korea. And demand in China's robot market have great loopholes, and the future market is huge. It is serving as a strong driving force to develop Chinese robot industry by providing resources to the country. And in the first half of 2021, the global market of industrial mobile robots couldn't develop as expected, but domestic market in China was fine. And most mobile robot companies are gradually coming down from their previous nervousness, and companies are entering a maturity stage. Companies are being stabilized, and market is finding peace in anticipation of increase in market demand when COVID-19 ends. And industries such as e-business, logistics, new energy, and semiconductors and pharmaceuticals are showing rapid growth. And in particular, new automobile powers, including Tesla, have a strong desire to introduce mobile robots into the automobile manufacturing on a large scale. And according to the survey by China's Mobile Robot Industry Federation, 41,000 new industrial robots were applied to Chinese market, up 25.6% from last year, and market sales rose 25.4% year on year to 7.68 billion yen. And as you can see here, China's domestic robot industry has been affected by COVID-19 this year and 2020, but it has maintained a relatively good increase. And the industry believes that products that meet the following conditions are true autonomous mobile robots. First, mobile robots should operate in natural environment and should not rely on artificial environment. And second, mobile robots must have the ability to decide and plan autonomously and are not simply subject to remote control commands. Currently in the market, the many mobile robots rely on markings on the ground. For example, there is AGV movement such as electromagnetic color induction and QR code, and this also does not meet the needs of autonomous AGV. And autonomous planning ability refers to the ability of robot avoiding obstacles. And AML has self-determination capability, making it more suitable for working in complex dynamic environments. And the future of market is huge. Therefore, we have great expectation for AML application and technological development. And although AML has this dominance, we don't simply think of AML as an intermediate or substitute for ACB. And the development trend of global robots cannot be stopped. It will continue to show a developing trend. And as product technology gradually matures and potential labor costs increase, product costs will continue to decline, but the quality will increase by 30%. And the size of Chinese market is expected to reach 7.5 billion in 2020 and 13 billion by 2023. And both the development of mobile robot technology and the types of products will be diversified, and relying on technology platform to quickly introduce new product will be the future direction. And the modern manufacturing is characterized by mobile robots completing transportation tasks in a highly efficient and intelligent and smart manner. And in particular, some new manufacturing areas require close collaboration between robots and humans. That way, robots can find proper applications. And other than that, it should be convenient to use. It can be said that it is an era where mobile robots can be distributed and applied only when mobile robots can be simply deployed, adjusted, and protected. And navigation technology is still at the heart of development. Navigation technology is a key factor as the range of applications of mobile robots increase. And navigation technologies will usually use electromagnetic QR codes and laser navigation. Therefore, I will leave this as it is for a while, because natural navigation has natural outliner, laser navigation, and visual navigation. And as navigation technology matures, the placement and protection of robots becomes simpler, and system placement will be carried out by processing and shifted to commercialization placement. And third, I think the applications of mobile robots should be expanded further. As technology advances, applications for mobile robots in the future will expand further and will be introduced in each area and stage of manufacturing industry. And device customers' demand for smart systems is also increasing. In the future, there will be fewer AGV-centered projects. Therefore, how different types of fixed robot movement work in harmony with mobile robots and other facilities is the key to realizing corporate plan. And shift from indoor to outdoor, and application of outdoor including semi-closed spaces are one of the development directions of mobile robots. In detail, the sales strategy of mobile robots is centered on warehouse type AGV and forklift type AGV. And these two AGVs will still be important in the coming years. In terms of industry, the public will like the AGV strategy the most. And main industries will be logistics, automobiles, 3G, tobacco, and indoor packing. And forklift sales in the domestic market will continue to increase. Market demand will shift from traditional forklifts to AGV forklifts and will gradually increase. And AGV forklift sales will continue to increase and marketability will be also high. Second, let me introduce our company and product and result. Hooray Technology was established in February 2016 and specializes in R&D, production, and sales of machine vision and mobile robots. The company has accumulated technologies by focusing on extensive R&D, and it has strength in machine vision and mobile robots. And we have constantly conducted quality innovation and introduced products. And we have more than 10 years of screening processing experience and are currently supplementing our weaknesses. It also has 20 years of software development capability. And we have more than 600 employees and R&D manpower is around 400. And we have APG R&D system and Six Sigma quality management system. And Huawei is a Chinese high-tech company with 305 patents. Company products have obtained ISO 9001 certification, CE certification, and CR certification. And Hooray R&D skill include hardware technology and smart calculation, ISP technology and optical technology, and FPGA technologies. And we have completed one national project and 355 patents and 32 software registered. And we have high-tech knowledge and ISO quality certification. And we are the member of CMVU, or China Machine Vision Industry Alliance, and Europe Machine Vision Association, and our product won Red Point Grand Prize and the Chinese Design Award. Our products include lifting AGV and forklift AGV, and our calculation method include immediate control, motor control, navigation, and occupational control, and smart management. And our software includes RCS control system, ICS comprehensive control system, and mobile app. And our products are applied to new energy, 3C manufacturing, automobile manufacturing, semiconductors, and logistics and machine and medicine and food industry. And now let me share the robot software and hardware of Hooray Technology Company. Our facility realizes MM-class location tracking precision by adding inertial navigation to the current industry's most important QR navigation and laser navigation methods. And in terms of safety, perspective coupling is used. And as you can see here, in all systems, AGV is carrying out various specific tasks, and our control system, ICS, is in charge of allocating and executing AGV's tasks. At the same time, the control system accepts user-level tasks. For example, in case of WMS and MES systems, after completing a task, it will return to the upper system, depending on the situation, and form a closed loop in the form of the overall operation process. So there are mainly three systems: AGV control system and mobile lab. This is an RCS control system that we researched and developed 100% on our own, and it is the soul of AGV logistics transportation. The maximum control capacity can control the operation of 300 facilities at the same time, while the RCS control system completes the optimal route during the facility operation period in milliseconds. If the pre-designed route is complicated or fails, the system immediately plans other routes of the facility so as not to interfere with the performance of the mission. And the platform allows you to observe the operation status, mission status, charging status, alarm, and so on online in real time. And the current AGV operating system is not an independent, lonely island. For example, AGV facility should be connected to production line machines. And with the automatic door design, they arrive from different areas and on different floors by elevator. And compatibility between the third-party system ICS and other facility is automated. We have our PC customer terminal. Regarding diversified products, mobile apps of Taiwan is used. It is convenient to use and can realize multifunctional purposes, for example, call AGB, inventory management, and warehouse location, etc. First of all, it is an elevating AGV that has strong performance and is widely applied, and the facility has a lightweight design with a small area and a low power consumption. The number of applicable places will increase, and there are two methods, QR code navigation and laser navigation, and the accuracy of location tracking is relatively high, making it safer and more reliable for places where various necessary solutions are converged. Currently, the facility has two mounting capabilities of 600 kilos and 1 ton. Both logistics and warehouse operators of various production lines can be selected. And it's a forklift type AGB. The facility is modularized using a laser navigation method, and its basic mounting capabilities are 1.5 tons, 2 and 3 tons respectively. And we also do our best when selecting materials for applications. In the power core electronics section, we select a famous design brand in the country and use in-house DMS to effectively use batteries and monitor abnormal situations such as overpressure and overflow and high temperature in all processes. And for laser, we use industry-leading brands of Germany or Japan in addition to the third-party product. Through accumulated experiences over years, we use in-house product as well for the main control board and driving parts. Next is our product introduction. The elevating AGV capability is so brilliant that the AGV immediately judges all passerbys and goods that appear out of nowhere and activates the brake. And the product has excellent control flexibility, so it runs smoothly and does not stop. And our lifting facility can replace the battery at a rapid speed, so one facility can be replaced within 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the folding of forklift type AGVs has increased efficiency and increased ability to identify road environments. And the facility has a station board identification function, so there is no need for artificial interference by automatically adjusting the body condition by identifying some station board that are not artificially placed in place by forklift type AGV. With years of experience, we believe that we have lots of experience in production line logistics and smart warehouse projects. And in the area of smart warehouse, we renovated the dice site design at the Dua plant. And we also put 127 AGVs into PCBA semi-finished product to provide solutions and conducted separation work in the early stage to increase efficiency. And in the fashion industry, we realized quick access inspection at the Yaker Delivery Center or container delivery logistics line. And in the same smart production line logistics area, we put various AGVs into the Xiaomi Technology Smart Factory to complete the connection with the online facilities of the upper system to provide more accurate logistics management. And at the same time, our AGV is also applied to the financial industry. The lifting type AGV has completed the inventory check of the money pocket case to realize unmanned management of cash safe. And at the Chiang Mai plant, we connected the on-site production line with a forklift type AGV to satisfy the transportation demand for the production line to operate at the same time. By automatically supplying and withdrawing raw materials, customers can flexibly produce them. And lastly, Hooray Technologies slogan is to a smarter factory. And Hooray company will join the waves of the production line logistics and smartization. And I am looking forward to the successful forum. Thank you very much for your attention. And so far you have watched the 3 keynote presentations. Thank you very much for taking time despite your busy schedule, and I'd like to thank speakers for participating in the forum through pre-recorded presentation. Thank you very much for your participation, and I am looking forward to your great interest in this forum. Thank you very much.